ஆழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருடிகளே சரணம், பெரியாழ்வார் திருடிகளே சரணம். ஸ்ரீசைலேஷ தயாபாத்திரம் தீபக்தியாதிகுணார்ணவம் யதீந்திர பிரவணம் வந்தே ரம்ய ஜாமாதர முனிம் ரம்ய ஜாமாத்ரி யோகீந்திர பாதரேகாமயம் சதா ததாயத்தாத்ம சத்தாதிம் ராமானுஜ முனிம் பஜே. லக்ஷ்மீநாத சமாரம்பாம் நாத யாமுன மத்தியமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சாரிய பரியந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். योनित्यमच्युत पदाम्बुज युग्मरुक्म व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. मातापिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य न कुलपतेरुकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगळं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना. भूतं शरश्च महताह्वय भट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखर योगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेण परकाले यतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्. गुरुमुखमनदीत्य प्राह वेदानशेषान् नरपति परिकृतं शुल्कमादात् कामः शशिरमवरवन्द्यं रङ्गनाथस्य साक्षात् द्विजकुलतिलकं तं विष्णुचित्तं नमामि. மின்னார் தடமதில் சொல் வெளிவுத்தூர் என்னொருகால் சொன்னார் கழக்கமணம் சூடினோம் முன்னாள் கிழியறுத்தான் நிலைத்தோம் கீழ்மழிச் சேரும் வழியறுத்தோம் நெஞ்சமே வந்து பாண்டியன் கொண்டாட பட்டபிரான் வந்தான் என்று ஈண்டிய சங்கம் எடுத்தூத வேண்டிய வேதங்களோதி விரைந்து கிழியறுத்தான் வாதங்கள் யாமுடைய 10. Dhivyaprabandham series of lectures in English. We are now enjoying periyAzhwAr thirumozhi. In that 4th centum, 5th decade is the topic of discussion today. periyAzhwAr beautifully enjoys Thirukoštiyur Bhagavan and the Dividesham in the previous decade. While doing that, he is glorifying those who are attached to Bhagavan and the Dividesham, and he is scolding the people who are not attached to Bhagavan and the Dividesham. In doing so, he gets reminded about the greatness of being devoted to Bhagavan, and he desires to bring out such greatness of the devotees of Bhagavan who think about Bhagavan's divine names, mantras associated with him, and so on. That is the theme of this padiham, this decade. AsaivAy chandra sindayaragi. The important aspect which is explained in this padiham relates to how a person goes through his final moments, and the importance of thinking about Bhagavan and his names, divine names, during the final moments, and the greatness of Bhagavan's divine names, how they can deliver a person even though he doesn't have full devotion and full commitment towards Bhagavan. As long as he is reciting the divine names with some devotion, Bhagavan will certainly help such persons. So that concept is explained by periyAzhwAr in this decade. Now one may wonder why Alvar has to talk about other upayams like reciting the names of Bhagavan, remembering Bhagavan in the final moments. Why those need to be explained by Alvar? That question may arise in a person's mind. For that, we can think about it this way. Just like Krishna explained so many different upayams, karma yogam, jnana yogam, bhakti yogam, purushottama vidya, avatar rahasya jnanam, and so many different aspects. And finally he said, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Give up everything and just hold on to me, surrender unto me. Similarly, Alvar is also explaining different upayams especially in Nama Sankirtanam and um, Antima Smriti and so on. But at the end of the day, periyAzhwAr is always going to recommend Sharanagati, and that is even highlighted in one of the pAsurams in this Padikam. So, for different types of personalities, different means are shown in Shastra. So, Alvar is just highlighting the greatness of those upayams which are shown in Shastra. So, that is the brief introduction for this decade. Let us now go to the pAsurams. First pAsuram, AsaivAy சென்ற சிந்தையராகி அன்னை அத்தனன் புத்திரர் பூமி வாசவார் குடலாள் என்று மயங்கி மாளும் எல்லைக்கண் வாய் திறவாதே கேசவா புருடோத்தமா என்னும் கேடலாகிய கேடிலி என்னும் பேசுவார் அவரெய்தும் பெருமை பேசுவான் புகில் பரமன் நம்பரமன்றே. In this Padiham, Alvar gives some graphic narration, description of the final moments of the person who is dying, and also how he is cremated and all that, and what kind of troubles and sufferings he goes through. Those are highlighted by periyAzhwAr beautifully in this Padiham. So we are going to see all of those meanings with the help of Kanchipuram Prativadi Bhayankaram, Sri Uve Annangaracharya Swami's Divyartha Deepika. We are seeing the simple meanings for all the pAsurams. The Divyartha Deepika itself is in Tamil, but I am translating the meanings, simple meanings on the fly and presenting it for the benefit of the Bhagavatas. So, first pAsuram, AsaivAy சென்ற சிந்தையர் ஆகி. AsaivAy சென்ற சிந்தையர் ஆகி, that is, having his heart focused on those who are dear to him. This is again talking about the final moments, bedridden person. Even at that time, he is having his heart on the person whom he is having great affection. That is his wife. That is the main focus here. En annai, annai attan, en puttirar bhumi. In each of that annai attan, we have to add en. That means my mother. En annai, my mother. En attan, my father. En puttirar, my sons, my children. En bhumi, this is my land. Vasamvar, having fragrance. En kudalal, my wife who is having such beautiful fragrant hair. Endru, saying these things. So, at the final moment, the person who is lying on the bed, he will have his heart on father, mother, children, his land, and mainly his wife. So, having all of them in his mind and thinking about them, mayangi, becoming bewildered, becoming mad on them, madly affectionate towards them. Maalum ellaikan, during the final moments. Vai thiravade, instead of telling their names, instead of reciting their names, instead of calling them out, கேசவா என்னும் புருடோத்தமா என்றும் கேடலாகிய கேடிலி என்றும். So, at that time, if one says Keshava, that is one who is having beautiful hair, one who is the killer of Keshi, one who is the remover of our kleshams, and one who is the lord of Brahma and Isha. Keshava has these four names, four meanings. And then Purushottama, Purudottama என்றும், Purushottama, the one who is supreme. And then Kedalagiye Kedili, one who incarnated as Varaha, one who had the Varaha form, and not having any destruction. One cannot be destroyed at any time. Such Lord, O my Lord, saying these things, pAsurams, those who recite these names, Eidum perumai, the glories, the greatness which they attain, Pesuvan Pugil. If I start speaking, Namparam Andru, I cannot speak about it and complete that. It is so big. The greatness of those who recite the names of Bhagavan, like Keshava, Purushottama, Varaha, saying these things, these names, and ending their life. Towards the end of life, if they say these names, they are so great compared to those who just call out their family members' names. Says periyAzhwAr in this first pasuram. So mainly this first pasuram is focused on the importance of reciting the divine names of Bhagavan. The divine names of Bhagavan, they are so powerful that they deliver anyone. And here, for the person who speaks out Bhagavan's divine names, there is greatness, there is glories. That is explained in this first pasuram. Second pasuram, சீயினால் செறிந்தேறிய புன்மேல் செற்றலேறி குழம்பிருந்து எங்கும் ஈயினால் அரிப்புண்டு பயங்கி எல்லவாய்ச் சென்று சேர்வதன் முன்னம் வாயினால் நமோ நாரணாவென்று மத்தகத்திடை கைகளை கூப்பி போயினால் பின்னை இத்திசைக்கென்றும் புனை கொடுக்கிலும் போக ஒட்டாரே. Another beautiful pasuram. சீயினால் செறிந்து ஏறிய புன்மேல். Because of lying on the bed for some time, one may get wounds on body, boils and so many different wounds, and they will be filled with pus because of not being taken care properly. So on those wounds, setraleri, the flies, house flies, they come and sit on the wounds and they drop their eggs there. Kuzhambirundu, after a while, because of that mixture of pus and the house flies eggs, they become ooze out. Yengum, all over the body. ஈயினால் அரிப்புண்டு, having itches before such final time occurs, final days, final moments, before that occurs, what should one do? That is explained in the next two lines. வாயினால் நமோ நாரணாய் என்று, with one's mouth one should say Namo Narayanaya, Namo Narayanaya. One should recite the names of Bhagavan. Mattagathidai, on the head, like this. Kaigalai Kupi, Anjali Panni, folding one's palms and performing Anjali. After this, if one gives up one's body, if one dies, Poyinal, then surely one will go to Paramapadam. If one raises his hand and recites Namo Narayanaya, recites the divine names of Narayana before one dies, even the last moment, if one does that, then Poyinal, if he goes to Paramapadam. Though AsaivAy says if he goes to Paramapadam, in the commentary it's explained that such person will definitely reach Paramapadam, because Bhagavan is waiting if anyone is going to call out for him. So if one with pure devotion calls out Bhagavan's divine names, then Bhagavan will accept that person and take such person to Paramapadam. So after going there, Pinnai, after that, Pinai Kodikilum, let's say someone says, I want to take this person to Samsara again. Keep him for some time and I will send him back definitely. Here is some guarantee for that. please keep my house as a guarantee. Like if you go to banks and ask for loan, they will ask for some guarantee. So here, somebody is coming and saying, please send this person from Vaikuntham with me to earth. I want to keep him for some time, but I will definitely return him to you soon. Even if somebody is willing to give guarantee, even if those persons who are willing to give guarantee are Nityas and Muktas, even Nityasuris say, okay, let us send this person and bring him back after some time. Even if that is said by Nityas and Muktas, இத்திசைக்கு என்றும் போக ஒட்டார். They will never be sent down. There will be those who will stop such Atma, such Mukta Atma, and will not let him go to this earth, says Alvar in this pasuram. So here, that reciting Bhagavan's divine names leading to moksham, and after reaching moksham, there is no return. Nachapunaravartate. That is emphasized here by Alvar. Because many times people ask, is there possibility of coming back from Vaikuntham to samsara? Let's say one person is getting liberated. After a while, is it possible that that liberated person will come here to samsara? Not because of any of individual's desire or fault. That is not possible. It is not that one goes to Paramapadam and there is scope for committing mistakes there and falling down to samsara. That is not there. Only case when the Atma will come here is Bhagavan himself sends that Atma to samsara for some leela. That can be done. If Bhagavan desires to send someone, then nobody can stop. But usually Bhagavan will also not send anyone from there, because he has tried so hard to get that Atma. After getting that Atma, why will he send him again to samsara? So Bhagavan will also generally not send anyone. So even if somebody is asking for that person to come to samsara, Bhagavan will not allow that person to come here, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. This is second pasuram. Next, third pasuram. சோர்வினால் பொருள் வைத்ததுண்டாகில் சொல்லு சொல் என்று சுற்றுமிருந்து ஆர்வினவிலும் வாய் திறவாதே அந்த காலம் அடைவதன் முன்னம் மார்வம் என்பதோர் கோயில் அமைத்து மாதவன் என்னும் தெய்வத்தை நாட்டி ஆர்வம் என்பதோர் பூவிட வல்லார்க்கு அரவதண்டத்தில் உயலுமாமே. சோர்வினால், due to bad memory, forgetfulness, பொருள் வைத்தது உண்டாகில். This is a beautiful conversation which is shown by periyAzhwAr. Actually, if we see this padiham, we will definitely get vairagyam. If we understand this padiham thoroughly, we will definitely get vairagyam in worldly matters, because periyAzhwAr has graphically narrated how reality is. So this pasuram is a very good example. A person is lying on his deathbed. At that time, all the relatives, children, wife, other relatives, they will all be surrounding that person and will ask that person, have you forgotten anything? Have you kept any wealth anywhere? Have you put it in any bank which we don't know? In those days, people used to bury the wealth underground. They put the gold coins in a pot and they bury it underneath. But these days, those things are not happening. Rather, people are putting money in bank, and sometimes they don't inform the family members. So the family members are getting very tensed and nervous. What if we lose all the money? So they are surrounding him on his deathbed and they are asking him, tell us, where is all the money? Have you kept anywhere? And Arvenavilum, even if these people, whoever they may be, wife or children, whoever may be, even if they are asking like this, why theravade? If that person keeps his mouth shut without answering them, அந்த காலம் அடைவதன் முன்னம், before he reaches that stage, that final moment, that death time, before one reaches that time where the relatives are surrounding him and asking him where the wealth is, before that moment, because at that moment that person will not be able to think about Bhagavan, because there is so much pressure on him. Even at the deathbed, there is so much pressure, so he may not be able to think about Bhagavan. So before that itself, one should think about Bhagavan and do this. Says periyAzhwAr, what is that we should do? He is saying, Marvam என்பதோர் கோயிலமைத்து. You have to create a sannidhi, the temple of Bhagavan within our body itself. And what is that temple? What is that koyilalvar? Our heart. Hridayam is the temple. In that sannidhi, Madhavan ennum deivattai naati. We have to establish Bhagavan. Who is that Bhagavan? Madhava. Madhava means one who is very dear to Sri Mahalakshmi. That is Thirumal. In Tamil it is said as Thirumal. In Sanskritam it is Madhava. So that Devata, that supreme Devata, has to be consecrated in that temple of heart. And towards that Bhagavan, Arum என்பதோர் பூயிடவல்லார்க்கு. If one can submit the flower of bhakti, here bhakti itself is a flower. We don't need to go and search for different very expensive flowers. We just have to offer our bhakti as a flower in our own heart, having our own small temple within our heart, placing Madhava, Sriman Narayana in it, and offering our bhakti. If one can do it, Aravadandathil uyalum ame. Such person can escape the punishment given by Yama Bhattas, the messengers of Yama. So, if one is able to worship Bhagavan within one's heart before getting to the final moment, because in the final moment one may not be able to think about Bhagavan. So, before that, if he is able to do it, then such persons will escape the punishment of messengers of Yama, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram, fourth pasuram. மேல் எழுந்ததோர் வாயு கிளர்ந்து மேல்மிடற்றினை உள்ளழ வாங்கி காலும் கையும் விதிர்விதிர்த்து ஏறி கண்ணுறக்கம் அது ஆவதன் முன்னம் மூலமாகிய ஒற்றை எழுத்தை 3 மாத்திரை உள்ளழ வாங்கி வேலை வண்ணனை மேவுதிராகில் வெண்ணகத்தில் மேவலுமாமே. Very nice pasuram. மேல் எழுந்ததோர் வாயு. Again, the final moments, what happens, that is explained, and it is said that before that moment, before that situation, one should do this. That will be explained in the second part of the portion. மேல் எழுந்ததோர் வாயு கிளர்ந்து, the different air which is circulating in our body, the prana, that air, as it rises up quickly, suddenly, because of that, மேல் மிடறு, the heart, உள்ளழ வாங்கி, the heart becomes weak suddenly because of the heavy breathing. The heavy breathing leads to heartbreak, and because of that heartbreak, because again, all of this in the final moments, slowly, one by one, the limbs in the body stop functioning. So first the heart fails, and then kalum kayim vidirthi eri, one's hands and feet, they are shaking out of fear. Kannurakam adu avadan munnam, before one goes to deep sleep, that is death. Dirgha nidra. Dirgha nidra means very deep sleep, which is death. Before that death happens, what should we do? So periyAzhwAr says, மூலமாகிய ஒற்றை எழுத்தை 3 மாத்திரை உள்ளழ வாங்கி. மூலமாகிய ஒற்றை எழுத்து, that is the single syllable which is the source for everything. Even the Vedam, it is sourced from Pranavam, the Omkara. So that pranavam மூன்று மாத்திரை உள்ளெழ வாங்கி, it should be recited as 3 syllables. Kanji Swami shows in the explanation here, the pranavam can be recited as 1 syllable, 2 syllables and 3 syllables, it seems. Even though it can be recited in different ways and it can lead to different results. But for the one who needs moksham, one who don't need any of the lowly results, one should then recite the pranavam as 3 syllables. So that is why periyAzhwAr has said, மூன்று மாத்திரை உள்ளட வாங்கி. It should be recited as 3 syllables. வேலை வண்ணனை, one who is having ocean-like complexion, ocean-like form. மேவுதிர் ஆகில், if you are surrendering to that Bhagavan, if you recite pranavam and surrender to Bhagavan, விண்ணகத்தினில் மேவலுமாம், then you can reach Sri Vaikuntham, Paramapadam, and remain there with all the Nityasuris and Muktas, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. So those who are able to surrender unto Bhagavan, reciting the pranavam in the proper mechanism, proper way, then surrender unto Bhagavan, then such persons will reach Sri Vaikuntham itself, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram. மடிவடி வந்து நீர் புலன் சோர, வாயிலட்டிய கஞ்சியும் மீண்டே, கடைவழி வார கண்டமடைப்ப கண்ணுறக்கமதாவதன் முன்னம், துடைவழி உம்மை நாய்கள் கவரா, சூலத்தால் உம்மை பாய்வதும் செய்யார், இடைவழியில் நீர் கூரையும் இழவீர், இருடீகேசன் என்று ஏத்த வல்லீரே. In this pasuram, periyAzhwAr is saying, those who are able to praise Bhagavan, saying Rishikesha and other names too. If anyone is able to do it, then they will not go through so much sufferings from the messengers of Yama, and they will not be tormented in their afterlife, says in this pasuram. Again, this is also very graphic narration. If we think about how Alvars have shown some of these reality in a very point blank manner, we know sometimes people will on their deathbed, they go through so much sufferings, even physical pain, loss of memory, loss of movement of limbs, and then they want to express something but they are unable to do it. So many different types of sufferings, pains are undergone during the final moments. Some of them are shown here. Madipulan vadi vandu neer sora, due to fear of seeing all the Yama's messengers. In the final moment, they will start seeing Yama's messengers. They are coming to carry the Atma to the Yamaloka for the judgment. So seeing that Yama Kinkara, the servitors of Yama, this person who is on the deathbed, he will pass urine without even realizing, out of fear. Sometimes it happens for old people, even for children, very young children, 3 years old, 4 years old. Sometimes they pass urine out of fear. Sometimes they think something in the mind and they become scared and they pass urine. So that could happen even in the final moments. And then vayilattiya kanjiyum kandam adaipa, in the final moments or the final days, one may not be able to consume solid food. So what they will do, the relatives like wife, children, they'll prepare some porridge which is fluid, and they will come and feed that porridge to the person who is bedridden. So that porridge itself is choking them because they are not able to digest. So a few spoons fed in and then they start choking. Meendum kadaivari vara. Again what happens? Just like how it was fed in, it comes out the same way. It comes out through their side. Because usually these people will be lying on the bed, and when the porridge is poured, it will come out of the side, because they are not able to send it in, digest it. Kannurakam adu avadan munnam. In this manner, before the death happens, Kannurakam means death. Before that happens, Irudikeshan என்று Rishikesha. Oh, Rishikesha. Rishikesha means one who is the controller of senses. Not only his own senses, but also every Atma's senses are controlled by Bhagavan. That is why he is known as Rishikesha. So, saying this divine name, Etavaldir, those who are able to praise Bhagavan, Naigal ummai todai vadi kavara. While going and reaching the Yamalokam, there many dogs will be there, waiting for such people to come in. They will come and grab, they will come and bite. But for you, such things will not happen, says periyAzhwAr. Ummai சூலத்தால் பாய்வதும் செய்யார். The dogs will not come and catch you, and also the Yama's servitors, they will not come with a trishul and harm you. They will not do it. நீர் இடைவழியில் கூரையும் இழவீர். In this manner, on the way, en route, you will not lose your vastram also. You will retain it, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram, அங்கம் விட்டு அவை ஐந்தும் அகற்றி ஆவி மூக்கினில் சோதித்த பின்னை சங்கம் விட்டவர் கையை மறித்து பையவே தலை சாய்ப்பதன் முன்னம் வங்கம் விட்டு உலவும் கடல் பள்ளி மாயனை மதுசூதனை மார்பில் தங்க விட்டு வைத்து ஆவதோர் கர்மம் சாதிப்பார்க்கு என்றும் சாதிக்கலாமே. In this pasuram we can say that prapati is performed. For those who have done prapati beforehand, for them, even during the death time, if they are not able to remember anything and they die quickly, suddenly, even then there is no loss. They will be able to get the ultimate benefit, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. அவையைந்தும் அங்கம் விட்டு அகற்றி, all the 5 pranas, prana, apana, udhana, samana, vyana, all these 5 vital airs which are circulating in the body, as they go out of the body, because once the Atma leaves, the prana also, the prana vayu also goes out of the body. Avar, after that happens, when the Atma goes away, when the prana also goes away, now the person has become a dead body. Avar, arugullavargal, those who are nearby. Mookinil avi soditha pinnai, immediately couple of persons who know a little bit about these things, they'll come and check the nostril if there is breathing, and then they'll check the wrist and see if there is some movement, some nervous movement. And after knowing that there is nothing, everything is gone, the person is dead, sangam vittu, after that, that particular person who checked, he will not have any attachment towards the person who died, because he is already died now. Now, after that, when he found out, now there, the people who are there, they will ask, what is the situation now? How is he doing? Like that. For that, the person who has just checked that, his breathing and his nerves, the person who has checked that, he will tilt his head a little bit. This is how it happens usually in places where death has happened. The person will tilt his head a little bit and just sway it, shake it a little bit, and then he'll spread out his hand like this. Oh, it's gone. Nothing is there. Like he will show like this. This is how, these are some physical expressions when somebody dies. When somebody finds out that somebody is dead. And if somebody asks what happened to that person, then they'll say, oh, he's gone. Like that. So before that happens, you do this, says periyAzhwAr. Vangam bettu ulavum kadal palli mayanai. One who is reclining on the ocean where boats are going around. Because boats and ships are usually said to be decoration for ocean. So whenever they say ocean, they say Vanga Kadal. Even Andal Nachar said Vanga Kadal Kadinda Madhavani Keshavani, right? So such Lord who is uh, resting on the ocean like this. And he is amazing. Maya means one who is amazing. That amazing personality, Madhusudanai, one who killed Madhu, Marvil Tangavittu Vaitu. Such Bhagavan is placed in the heart, Hridayathil Amaitu, Avador Karmam Shadiparku, for the one who is able to do the apt upayam, matching one's swarupam, that is Sharanagati. If one can do it, they will attain the results. Endrum Sadikalam. On any day, they can enjoy the results, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. So, before all of this happen, one should surrender oneself to Bhagavan. And if that is done, even if in the final moment, if he doesn't realize anything, Bhagavan will deliver that person, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. Next pasuram. தென்னவன் தமர் செப்பமில்லாதார் சேவதக்குவார் போல புகுந்து பின்னும் மண்கயிற்றால் பிணித்தற்றி பின்முன்னாக இழுப்பதன் முன்னம் இன்னவன் இணையான் என்று சொல்லி எண்ணி உள்ளத்து இருளர நோக்கி மன்னவன் மதுசூதனன் என்பார் வானகத்து மன்றாடிகள் தாமே. Those who are constantly reciting Bhagavan's names, and those who are always thinking about Bhagavan's leelas, like being Madhusudana, he killed Madhu. So, for such persons, they will get to pray, they will get to request for eternal Kainkariam to Bhagavan along with the Nitya Suris. That is the pasuram here. Seppamiladar Tennavan Tamar. The Yamapatas, that is Yama's servitors, he is one of the Devatas who is controlling the aspects of death for everyone. Those Yamabhatas, the servitors of the Yama, they are not having truthful activities. They are not being truthful. Say Adakkuvar Pola Pugundu. Just like they come in, just like they are tending the bulls. Pinnum. After that, one kayitral, pinithi a tree, with the strong ropes tying him and baiting. Pin munnaga ilupadan munnam. Before up and down from Lila Vibhuti to Nitya Vibhuti. In the Lila Vibhuti, from the Lila Vibhuti, one will go to Parampadam if one is totally surrendered to Bhagavan. But otherwise, one has to go from Lila Vibhuti within one area, from one area to another area. Let's say from earth to hell, Naraka. In this manner, repeatedly being pulled to Yamaloka, Mannavan, the king for even such Yama. Yama is the king of all the persons there in the Yamaloka, but even for Yama, Bhagavan is the king. That Bhagavan, Innavan Inayan, he is this kind of person, he is having this kind of nature. Endru solli, saying these things in this manner, highlighting his Swarupa and Swabhava, true nature and qualities. Yenni, thinking about it repeatedly in the mind. Ullathu irulara nokki, eliminating all the ajnana, the darkness from the heart, and seeing Bhagavan inside the heart fully. Madhusudanan என்பார். Madhusudana, the devotees will call him out as Madhusudana, saying in this manner, Vanagatu, Sri Vaikuntam, in the Sri Vaikuntam, Mandradigal Tham. They are always going to pray for Kainkaryams. That is explained in this pasuram. Next பாசுரம், கூடி கூடி உற்றார்களிலிருந்து குற்றம் நிற்க நற்றங்கள் பறைந்து பாடி பாடியோர் பாடையிலிட்டு நரிப்படைக்கு ஒரு பாவுடம் போலே கோடி மூடி எடுப்பதன் முன்னம் கௌத்துவமுடை கோவிந்தனோடு கூடி ஆடிய உள்ளத்தனானால் குறிப்பிடம் கடந்து உயலாமே. Here it is said that one can go over the Yamaloka and become uplifted, become successful. How? That is explained in this pasuram. Uttargal kudi kudi irundu. So after the death, what happens? That is also explained very graphically. After the death, all the relatives will surround again, gather together, and they will be sitting with a very sorrow face, very sad face. Kutram nirka natrangal parayandu. Naturally, when a person dies, even he may be a very bad person, very many mistakes have been done by him. Even then, what will people do? They will talk about the good deeds which was done by the deceased person, the dead person. So, whatever is appearing to be truth, slightly even, they will take it and they will magnify it, because they want to give some share their sorrows to everyone who is there. So in that manner they praise the dead person and speak about good things from that person. So ignoring the defects and focusing on the good things. Padi padi, in this manner singing very sad songs. Or padayilittu, after that the body, the dead body of the person will be placed on the padai. Padai is the stretcher like thing which is used for carrying the dead body, basically. That resting that person on the padai, kodi modi, after that they will cover a vastram, a new vastram for that person who is died now, covering the person with a fresh cloth. Naripadaiku oru pavudam pole, just as offering some prey for group of foxes which are in the forest, giving some food for that foxes, edupadan munnam. For that, here the body on this padai, this stretcher is there, that has to be carried to the cremation ground. While taking that, the dogs will come. Here the nari means dogs, some bad dogs. For that, they will give some offering, as if they are submitting some to the dogs also, and divert the dogs, and they will continue to take the body to the cremation ground. Edupadan munnam, in that manner, before taking the body to the cremation ground, Kautuvamudai Govindanodu, Govinda Bhagavan, who is having Kaustubam, the Kaustubam jewel on his divine chest. Such Bhagavan, Kudi Adiya Ullataranal, towards that Bhagavan, if one has the united heart, if the heart is united with Bhagavan, Kudi Adiya Ullatarana, Kuripidam Kadandu Uyalumame, that person can cross the Yamaloka, because Kuripidam means here, the focus is on Yamaloka. So, avoiding that, they can go over the Yamaloka and attain upliftment. Says in this pasuram, periyAzhwAr says in this pasuram. Next pasuram, வாயொரு பக்கம் வாங்கி வலிப்ப வார்ந்த நீர் குடிக்கண்கள் மிழற்ற, தாயொரு பக்கம் தந்தையொரு பக்கம் தாரமும் ஒரு பக்கம் அலற்ற, தீயொரு பக்கம் சேர்வதன் முன்னம் செங்கன்மாலோடு சிக்கன சுற்றமாய் ஒரு பக்கம் நிற்க வல்லாருக்கு அரவதண்டத்தில் உயலுமாமே. வாயொரு பக்கம் வாங்கி வலிப்ப. Again, the final moments is explained. The person in the final moments, their mouth will pull towards one end because of some pressure inside. So that is happening here for this person who is on the deathbed. வார்ந்த நீர் குழி கண்கள் மிழற்ற. The eyes which are having lot of tears, those eyes to be scared and to be completely opened. ஒரு பக்கம் தாய், ஒரு பக்கம் தந்தை, ஒரு பக்கம் தாரம். The husband, the father, the mother and wife, all of these persons are surrounding the person in the deathbed and alatra, as they are crying out loud. ஒரு பக்கம் தீ சேர்வதன் முன்னம், before their fire is lit with fire, before that happens, Shanganmal Odum, Pundarikaksha Bhagavan, one who is having reddish eyes, that Supreme Lord, Tasyeta Kapyasam Pundarivam Emokshini, says Shastram, that Bhagavan is having lotus-like eyes. Sikkana Chutramai, that Bhagavan is present as the real and eternal Bandhu, relative. ஒரு பக்கம் நிற்க வல்லாருக்கு. ஒரு பக்கம் நிற்க வல்லாருக்கு. For those who are able to focus on Bhagavan only, for such person. So before one side mother is crying, another side father is crying, another side wife is crying, before the fire comes from outside and reaches this person, being the eternal relative, complete relative of Bhagavan who is lotus side, ஒரு பக்கம் நிற்க வல்லாருக்கு, one who is able to fully focus on Bhagavan and remain in that state, அரவதண்டத்தில் உய்யலுமாம். For them, the punishment from Yama will not be given, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram, வாயொரு பக்கம் வாங்கி வலிப்ப. Final pasuram, செத்துப்போவதோர் போது நினைந்து செய்யும் செய்கைகள் தேவபிரான் மேல் பத்தராய் இறந்தார் பெரும்பேற்றை பாழித்தோள் விட்டு சித்தன் புத்தூர்கோன், சித்தம் நன்கொருங்கி திருமாலை செய்த மாலை இவை பத்தும்லார், சித்தம் நன்கொருங்கி திருமால் மேல் சென்ற செந்தை பெருவர் தாமே. For those who are completely learning these 10 pasurams and well versed in it, for them their minds will be purified and they will go and attain Bhagavan, says periyAzhwAr in this pasuram. செத்து போவதோர் போது நினைந்து, the time of death for a person, at that time, செய்யும், done by the Yamabhatas, செய்கைகள், the cruel activities, நினைந்து, thinking about those, தேவபிரான் மேல், on தேவபிரான், that is Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, பத்தராய், being devoted, having devotion, irandar, after that they have died. Initially they were good devotees, good Bhagavatas, and then they died. Perumpetrai, the result which can be attained by them. Pazhithol is those who are having such strong shoulders. Puttur, Srivillibutur, Kon, leader. So here periyAzhwAr is said to be one who is having strong shoulders because he has been working on the Nandavanam always. Those who are doing physical work, their physique will also be strong. So such Shivilibuthu's Lord, Vittu Chittan, that is periyAzhwAr, Chittam, his heart, Thirumalai, towards Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana, Nangu, in a good manner, Oringi, united, say the mercifully spoke, Malai, Sol Malai Agia, this garland of words, Ivai Pattum Palla, those who are able to master these 10 pAsurams. Sittam Nangoringi, just as how Alvar's heart is very uh, pure and always focused on Bhagavan. Thirumal Mel, on Sriman Narayana, Sendra, Kudikonda, that is, their heart has gone behind Bhagavan, Sriman Narayana. Chintai, such mind, such heart, Perivar, will attain. So these people who are able to glorify and recite these pAsurams, for them, they will attain the heart which is fully focused on Sriman Narayana, says periyAzhwAr in this pAsuram. With this, the decade comes to an end. Alvar Thirudikale Sharanam, Embermanar Thirudikale Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudikale Sharanam, Jiyar Thirudikale Sharanam, periyAzhwAr Thirudikale Sharanam, Kanchi Swami Thirudikale Sharanam. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் மல்லாண்டு தின்றோடு மணிவன் நான் சேவடி செவிதில் அடியோ மோடும் நோடும் பிரிவின் ஞாயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாய் நின்னுளமார்பில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வளத்துறையும் சுடர் ஆழியும் பல்லாண்டு படைப்போர்க்கு குமுழங்கும் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டே. We'll see in the next session.